All right, so if you have ADHD or you're neurodivergent or anything like that, if you've ever been like, I'm messed up. I don't know how I work, but I work a lot different than anybody else. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about being in your madman era. You're mad woman, whichever. You just realizing that you are not like anybody around you and being okay with it. So I realized that I had ADHD like really late. Like I'm 35 right now, and I don't think I really realized until my wife said it when I was probably around 30. And at the first, I went through this like denial phase and this sort of like this whole loop, and then I start studying it and going into neurodivergence and realizing, wow, yeah, you know what? That is what I sound like. I'm not like anybody else. And being able to realize that you're like your divine madness, you're going to work completely different than anybody else. There's not going to be any such thing as structure and like all of the things that society are based on like habits and rhythm and structure, and you might as well just throw it down the toilet and flush it down and be like, fuck you. Just how it is. And the moment that you can start in your identity just being okay with that is when your gifts start really showing up. So like most people that I've worked with that are also ADHD as entrepreneurs, they live inside of absolute delusion, okay? So absolute reality distortion field. Yet, reality works out really well for them. So why is that? Well, my belief is that reality responds directly to the person who believes that reality most deeply. And the interesting thing about being absolute divinely mad, out of your mind, is that your conviction for that is so high that it's almost as if you can bend reality. Right? And so there's like two ways to build reality. You build reality inside of logic and form and structure and focus, or you kind of bend reality, right? You either apply it as a king or a queen, or you become the wizard or the magician. And for a long time, I tried to be the king, right? Making it logical and those types of things. And then I realized is like, I'm really good at being able to bend reality. But this video, what I really, like, all I want you to take from this moment is the moment in which you relax into all of this stuff that people are talking about is not going to work for me. And like the habits and I'm going to structure my calendar this way. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to do it this way. And you just literally living inside of the divine madness and being and accepting that that's the truth. Accepting that that is who you are, accepting that you are just not like anybody else whatsoever, whether it's whatever version of neurodivergent you are. Like I remember the day that I sat on the toilet and I said, I think I'm fucking mad. Like, I think I'm crazy. Like I'm having in this, I remember being in the moment, I'm like, in this moment, I have enough awareness that whatever version of madness I am, it looks really like success, and it just so happens I make a lot of money with it, and a lot of what happens is unexplainable. Like the version of reality I'm inside of is kind of not really explainable. It shouldn't be explainable. It shouldn't even really happen, yet here I am, and it's happening, and it's working, and it's weird. And then one of my mentors wrote the foreword for my book, and he I think the mirror effect of him saying it about myself made me like, oh my God. And he said, Scott is divine madness. And I said, yeah, you know what? Unless someone said it about me, I don't think I would have been able to say the words out loud, but that's the truth. But my superpowers, those superpowers, mine and yours, they don't get unleashed until we accept that that is how it is. And we accept that it's not going to be like anybody else, and accept that each day is going to be like this massive journey, and we can go through 4 sets of seasons before the time it's 11 a.m. And once you accept that, and you accept that you can't have structure, and that you can have structure in certain parts of your life, but more than likely the business is an art. But if you try to run it as a business, it'll all go away. And that people that are generally neurodivergent, there's like this intuitive nature that it's almost as if you can bend the intellectual side so that you're inside of this like art form. And the business is this painting, this painting that continues to be built and continues to be formed. And when you give yourself permission for that, boy, business can be beautiful. But if not, it always feels like you're behind. It always feels like it sucks. You always feel like you want to burn it down. You build it and you burn it down. You build it, you burn it down. You build it, burn it down. But if you're able to like let yourself just land in the craziness that you are, it won't look like any business guru on YouTube, but you'll have a really great time.